Okay, so episode 2 of Superman and Lois has dropped, and I'm saying this every single week. This show is absolutely fantastic. Like, it is acted so good. Like, there are nuances I feel like that happen in this show that a lot of people just kind of gloss over. For instance, John Irons, John Haramy, where the hell does Haramy come from? John Irons, when he's looking at Lois and he's seeing his Lois, but the way in which his Lois is portrayed can be looked at as a parallel to how Clark first saw her when they were working together, like on that case. Absolutely love it. He's seeing the woman that he loves, and then he flashes back to reality and realizes that she's basically the wife of essentially now his best friend. Natalie, dealing with the fact that she's not only on a different Earth, living with somebody who looks like her mother, dealing with the fact that Superman basically lives in the exact same house as them, but basically now dealing with living her life as a normal teenage girl and not under constant threat of being killed. Absolutely love it. The way in which her character approaches things is dope as shit. Lois, not Lois Lane, Lana Lang and her husband off to the side trying to make Smallville a better place. Sometimes you would feel as though in a show diverging from the main cast to show what the B cast is doing would be the slow period, but I'm really interested in them making Smallville a better town where they're not being taken advantage of by outside corporate or government influences, where the people of Smallville are essentially working to make the lives of the people of Smallville better. The relationship between Tal-Roh and Superman, fan-fucking-tastic. Like, I love the fact that it's basically two separate stories of two brothers, where you had one brother, Al, who landed on Earth, was found by the Kents, was loved, cherished, taken care of, and allowed to develop into Superman. And then you had Tal-Roh, who, when he landed on Earth, they thought he was a demon. They tried to kill him. They chained him underground, tortured him for years, and then he finally broke free with an outlook that these humans really ain't shit. And it's basically them coming together for a shared mutual understanding, which isn't Krypton, it's their mother. Where when we finally see their mother show up, she's basically like, I love the fact that Tal explains that she's not the mind from the Eradicator, where the Eradicator's mind was, I believe, in the past. This version of No, the Eradicator version of, why am I forgetting her name? It's Jor-El and Lana L. Superman's mom. I don't remember her name. I'm sorry, but the version for the Eradicator was the most up-to-date version of her, which is basically she had Clark, had went off, had done all this stuff. The version that Tal-Roh has isn't that advanced. It's before she went off and had Cal with Jor-El, or she had already left Tal-Roh, Zeta-Ro. She'd already left Zeta-Ro, and she was now about to marry Jor-El and have Kal-El as a natural birth. So it's like two different mother personalities, where the first one in the first season was a little bit more loving, and this one approaches it a little bit more scientifically, and she's not as loving, but at the exact same time, her love isn't only directly towards one kid, because for her, she hasn't had and raised Cal yet, even though he's like on the way, but she cares for both Tal-Roh and Kal-El, because she's like, yeah, you're both my sons, and I love you both. And Tal-Roh doesn't want to hear that, because he's like, you abandoned us. And she's like, no, your father took my genetic material and created you using the ancient rites of Krypton, which is something that I love, that they're keeping the I don't even know if that was a sentiment from Man of Steel, where essentially the Kryptonians were doing engineered births, because I don't remember that being something in the traditional Superman comics. Like, I remember Kryptonians having kids, but I don't remember them having engineered kids. But it's more or less a concept that I remember from Man of Steel, where everyone was engineered for a specific purpose. Zeta-Ro basically did that with his son. He took, still can't remember her name for whatever reason. He took her genetic material and had their child because that was the genetic union that was supposed to happen by Kryptonian law. And then she went off, fell in love with Jor-El, and then they went off and they had essentially Cal. So I love the fact that she was like this intermediary force that was trying to talk to both of her sons, and that my man Jordan, with giving his uncle the good old 1-2, where like he was actually able to fight him on a certain level until Tal-Roh realized he had to get serious, and he started choking that motherfucker out because he was really going to kill him. And I like the fact that she spoke to him like, you know, hey, you're my son, and I know that your father Zeta-Ro put you through all this shit, but I know that inside you never wanted to hurt anyone. You just wanted to be a normal and good person. And once you see like a hint of conflict, just one drop of conflict, you know that that character is probably going to end up being a good guy at some point in time, like in the future. And that's great. And of course, with Superman off to the side having like an existential crisis, because I think she described it as like an interdimensional psychic bridge between essentially him and Doomsday. And I'm going to assume that it's Doomsday. Like, we've heard that it's definitely Doomsday down in the mines, but things can change and people can lie, and until I see that man without that armor on, like, I'm going to keep calling him the monster down in the mines. But we see that he has a psychic bridge with Doomsday, and if it's an interdimensional bridge, I really want to say that the Doomsday down there in the mines may not be from their Earth. It may be a Doomsday from a completely different Earth, which that will be interesting to see. And it'll be interesting to find out why exactly it is that he's mentally and psychically connected to Doomsday. But yeah, this episode was dope as shit. There was a lot of just juicy dialogue between characters. It's also interesting to see that speedster from season 1, he had a brief stint as a villain, that he's basically on the super squad. And okay, I really want to see where exactly the super squad is going, and I really want to see what happens when they go, because I have a feeling that if Doomsday is in this, he's gonna kill all them kids, because Doomsday doesn't give a shit. He's the living embodiment of that Michael Jordan meme, fuck them kids. Like, he is not gonna care that these kids are only trying to do better. He is going to body each and every one of them. So I really can't wait to see that. Well, I don't want to say that I can't wait to see Doomsday kill some kids. That's kind of fucked up, but we all know as comic book fans, if you put these little kids in Doomsday's way, he's not really going to care. He's going to run right through them, like, with no qualms whatsoever. But we'll see. Episode 2 is dope as shit. I can't wait until next week. Like I said, I really enjoy waiting every Tuesday. It's something exciting for Superman and Lois. It's literally the only CW show that gets me excited when I know that it's coming back. So I'll see you again next week for episode 3, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.